Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Behind the Docs. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting Brian and Jeremy from Beyond Distribution. Welcome, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So I have a few questions I'd love to ask you guys a bit individually. I would love to get to know both of you and kind of like your background. So, Brian, I'll start with you. Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up and still live in the same place in Stowe, northeastern Ohio, kind of a little in between Akron and Cleveland, Ohio. So like
Oh, wow.
Kent State would be the closest college, Yeah.
And then, Jeremy, how about you?
I grew up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Still live here, so probably will never move. But it grew on me. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
No, exactly. So obviously being in the logistics space, this is not necessarily something that we per se dream of doing as a child. So I'd love to know a little bit about, what was your first job and how'd you get into this space? So Brian, I'll go back to you.
Well, my first job, similarly with the business, it's kind of funny you said that because I was a little boy who dreamed about being a truck driver. Don't ask me why. I watched too much BJ and the Bear growing up or something like that, but found out that a truck driver and a furniture mover, pretty difficult way to go.
100%. Not easy on the back.
Yeah, it was a tough living and living on the road. And so luckily in high school, I was fortunate enough to have, we have a pretty small town and everyone seemed to be in the moving business. And I would be their helpers. They'd come get you out of the pool in the summer and tell you got to come help me, deliver furniture, and kind of started from there. And then I was lucky enough to work for a company eventually in Columbus, Ohio, that Berger purchased, or Beyond Distribution, and just worked my way up. So it was kind of, it worked out really well, and I haven't left since.
Amazing. At least now you saved your back a lot of pain, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And much easier to stay married too this way.
100%. Truck driving it's definitely something for sure.
Yeah.
And then Jeremy, for yourself, I'll ask you the same question. What was your first job and how'd you get into this space?
Oh, I kind of fell into it. I started out building pool tables and swimming pools. And
oh, wow.
Yep, and I got hired at a company, and they said, "Hey, you want to deliver furniture for a day?" And figured, why not? And then it kind of just grew. I started, helping people train. I kind of found my niche in helping people develop and move forward. And then from there, I actually moved on to work for a luxury furniture company here in Minneapolis, and very interesting. It gave me a lot of opportunities to kind of see the market from the other side of the fence. Went to a lot of furniture shows, a lot of different conferences, and kind of decided logistics was where I wanted to be. And funny story is that company was actually a customer of Berger's / Beyond. Yep. And she decided she wanted to sell the business. And I came in one day and the GM of the facility here said, "Are you looking for a job?" And matter of fact, I was. So yeah, then I started out here and just kind of moved my way up and kind of found my place, with Beyond Distribution, working with Brian, and the rest is history.
That's amazing. I'm sure you guys bonded over your pain of moving struggles back in the day.
I don't think we ever talk about it. I think it's one of those things you just forget about.
Long summers and years, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Brian, I'll ask you, what's the hardest part you find about working in this industry?
Currently, the hardest part is service providers, really, the guys who we were just talking about, right? Because I don't want to move furniture either, so I get it. So really, not only finding service providers, but in the white glove world, certainly, they have to be really good business people. I mean, it's amazing what they go through. Carrying the furniture is probably the tiniest part of their job. What they have to do and go through. So, I think currently between that and then the amount of liability the whole business takes on, right? It's just
100%.
Yeah, the insurance world, it's unbelievable how there's risk and reward, but it's pretty risky business for
such a stressful avenue, part of the business. Like, I'm so happy that's not part of my job.
Yeah,
You hear stories and oh boy.
Yeah.
And then for yourself, what do you find is the hardest part of working in this industry?
I agree 100% with Brian about the service providers. We ask a lot from them. They're really customer service advocates for us and for our customers. That brand representation means more now than it's ever meant before. And, it kind of goes into, the customers too. The needs and the wants are changing right now. And everybody's looking for that competitive edge, how to be better than the other company that's selling the same product. So staying ahead of that curve and adjusting I wouldn't say it's been a struggle. It's been a challenge. It's been a fun challenge, but a challenge nonetheless.
100%. In this industry, I think it's very easy to talk about a lot of the negative because we're so affected by so many things around us. But on a better level, what would you find your favorite part of the job is, Brian, or your favorite thing to do on your day to day?
Well, see, now I'm going to talk out day to day. Well, there's two different answers there, but I'll talk out both sides of my mouth because my other favorite thing is we still have service providers that have been here with me 30 plus years, which is amazing that these guys are still doing it. So my favorite part is not only the service providers, but the employees in this particular company. I say 35 years, and there's going to be somebody sitting next to me that says 45 years. So the longevity and getting to see those people every day. The day to day, it might sound, I don't think it'll sound corny, but I love seeing the feedback from our customers every morning. It's one of the first things I do, and probably still some of Jeremy's thunder there, but in this day and age, we get plenty of feedback, whether it's positive or negative. Thankfully, there's a lot more positive, and I just love to see that feedback and see really people reaping some rewards for what they do.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what keeps us going in this business. There's so many struggles, but hearing like that people are still happy at the end of the day is the most important. Jeremy, for yourself, what's your favorite part of the job or your day to day?
Oh, he totally stole my thunder. Yeah, I mean, it's the customer interaction is really what it is. Every morning we look through all the surveys. We have about a 50% take rate for surveys, which is unheard of in this industry. Wow. And just seeing their comments, and we maintain about a 4.97 average with our survey. That's with 50% take rate. And just seeing what they have to say about us, and we even welcome the criticism. It helps us grow as a company and as people. And to kind of piggyback on what Brian said about the service providers, because it's a great point. Finding the right people is hard, but keeping the right people is what we really, truly always strive for. And Brian recently shared a picture of a photo shoot that we did for one of our customers where they brought a camel to the photo shoot on this beach in Cleveland, which I didn't know that existed, but there is a beach, I found out. And in the background, in the background was Dwayne, one of our drivers, and he's still a current driver. I mean, this is probably 15 years ago that photo shoot was done. And he was back there still bubbly and smiling and happy as he is today. And it really makes you proud to be a part of that.
100%. That's beautiful to hear. I can't say I ever rode a camel, but that's definitely something I should be. Right?
Me neither.
So tell me, Brian, what is your role and what does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, so my role or title is Vice President of Distribution for the overall corporation. So we have a great company beyond distributions, and just another arm of Burger. So we have truckload company, we have relocation company, we have the moving company. We have multiple companies. So what I enjoy is working with the other leaders of those companies. So our brands are well represented, and I get to represent the Beyond Distribution brand. Day to day, truly, although I like things to not change, it's never the same each day. I wish it could be. Every day you wake up for all these years and you come in and say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to set out to do, and it never works like that. And I think I kind of like it. I kind of something new every day. So really mine's let's review the day before. Let's review the next day. Let's review 2 years in advance, looking out for the company and thinking of the company. And then I would talk to Jeremy every morning. I'd talk to other people in similar positions every morning. And then we would go from there. But try to have a lot of long-term thinking. And that's what that's what can get messed up every day. You get to put off till tomorrow because of what's going on. But
100%.
I very rarely I've never come home and said I was bored, and I've never said, oh man, that day took forever. It seems like they all go quick, so which I appreciate.
100%. They fly by, keeps you on your toes, and
I love it.
You never know what you plan in advance, but in this industry, you never know when the ball's going to drop.
Yeah,
it seems to always be happening. So
we do think that we've planned and done so much, and it can still, we still end up having to be a little bit reactive when the plan is to never have to be reactive.
Exactly. And then Jeremy, for yourself, what is your role and what does your day-to-day look like?
Yeah, so I'm the director of corporate operations for distribution for Beyond. My day to day, Brian talked about, the forward thinking. I kind of straddle both lines. I usually have one foot in the past of what happened yesterday, and then we try to figure out how to make sure, it either happens again or doesn't happen again. And then, working with our hubs individually, we have 18 locations nationwide, constantly working through any kind of questions they have, really making sure that we're all rowing the same direction on the same boat. And, that's what I really love about my job is just watching the employees grow and watching the process really unfold and take place. And it does bring joy. Like Brian said, I've never went home and said, like, I hate this job. It was a horrible day. It's always, it's a different day every day. And it's a good mentality to have because, tomorrow's gonna be different. It's going to bring a new challenge and it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Brian, question for you. What do you find is one mistake companies commonly make when they choose a warehouse or fulfillment partner?
Well, you probably would hear this all the time, but certainly basing anything on pricing, that's typically number one. Again, it's kind of, if I was on the other end if I was the one looking for that warehouse, I'm more worried about the company, the longevity of the company, the financial security of the company. Yeah, you have to worry about pricing, but that can't be that's probably 20% of the question. So I can't take my chances on a big project or a long-term project because somebody gave me a great rate, but they may not be there tomorrow. I don't know. So, and truly on my end, on the sales side of it, that's what I'd like to, we've been here over 100 years. We're not going anywhere. We'd love to share we're financially strong. We love to share that, I think the biggest mistake would be, it'd be price for sure. Choosing based on price. And I'm not saying you should take the highest price either, but certainly it's unfortunate, but typically the cheapest is not going to be the best. in anything, right?
100%. You guys have existed for 100 years for a reason. And I think there's a lot of value to speak to that. Jeremy, question for you. What are some red flags businesses should look for in a 3PL agreement or onboarding process or finding a partner? What have you seen in your career so far?
Oh, the biggest red flag is being a yes man. We have to be realistic. We're very transparent. So we develop all of our own software in-house. We give our customers full access through portals to everything. They see all of our notes. They see all of our activity with the movement of their product. The transparency really, it builds trust and it shows that the organization is there for your best needs. When somebody just goes to you and says, we can do it, usually that's the biggest red flag for me is that you can't do everything. There's got to be some kind of holdback in your operation. And, that I think is what makes the partnership strong is when you are transparent and you let them know that, we can't do this, but, we can do X, Y, and Z and really finding a compromise and building that relationship for long-term.
100%. I think transparency is the most important. And, not everybody can handle everything. And I think that when you say yes to everything, that's when there's a problem. But that's really cool. You guys have all that technology initiative that you guys, I think it's already very advanced than most people do in this industry. So that must be something that plays in your favor when acquiring new customers. I'd love to hear kind of like a funny story, or if you guys have something that has happened that, you think of all these years afterwards, whether it's funny or a learning lesson. So I'll take one from each of you. Brian, I'll start with you. Do you have something like a oh shit moment or like a learning lesson you'd like to talk about?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think because they're not always fun, the oh shit moments. It's usually costly.
That's totally okay.
I've had plenty of them, but I don't think I would share that. Obviously, the Camel was a great one. That was a no shit. I don't know anything about, moving a camel. Man, I got to dig. I've had a lot of them, and we've had a lot of good experiences.
Or did anything ever happen where it was like a learning lesson, which you're like, okay, we can't do this again moving forward?
Yeah, we've had plenty of those, and they usually go back to. I don't know, Jeremy's thinking of one, so I don't want to say the same one, but mine would go back to we did say yes to everything, and next thing I know, I find myself out on a crew hanging machines from an elevator, the bottom of an elevator with the door going up, like all of a sudden I'm a professional rigger here, and I'm at the oh crap moments when the elevator stops and this thing's hanging, between
Oh
floor
my God.
15 and 16, when there's 10 more machines downstairs. And the oh crap moment was, I got to tell this customer that I had no clue what I was doing. I shouldn't have taken this on, and I need to call help right now. And it was basically
100%.
did it for free we did it for free in the end, because there's no way I could charge somebody for that fiasco.
No, at least you're alive. Do you have a fear of elevators now, or?
I don't, but I've never gotten in one and not thinking about this giant mailing machine just hanging from the bottom. Like,
I think I'd be the same, honestly. I think you remember that forever. So
yeah, when the actual rigger came out there, he just looked at me like you had no clue, and I was probably 25 maybe or something. I said, no, I didn't.
Okay, you're young.
I thought I knew what I was doing.
And then Jeremy, for yourself, I'd love to know the same thing.
Oh, yeah, we got a couple. I think like the funniest, it wasn't funny at the time, but we had a customer long ago. It was actually not for Burger, it was a previous company, and she sold a bunch of her artwork, and she was a world-renowned artist. And we ended up having to crane this piece of art into the condo. It was probably 50 stories up. This piece of art was, it had to be at least 10 by 15 feet. It was massive. We had to go through a window and the whole rigmarole. We get it up in there, we unwrap it, and here they sent a blank canvas on accident. And we had to reschedule. Oh yeah, we had to reschedule every single thing and take this thing back out through the window. It was something else. It was unbelievable. And to this day, we laugh about it now, but yeah, then you stand there with the customer and you're like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's blank. We didn't grab the wrong one. It's just the wrong piece, but it was fun. It was, looking back, it was a good time.
Were you driving the crane?
No, absolutely not. No, I'm lucky to let me drive my car to work. So,
he wasn't dumb enough to pretend he was a rigger.
no.
He learned that from you, Brian.
Yeah.
No.
That's funny.
And then for you guys, I think that when it comes to warehousing, everybody's very good at what they do. But I think the biggest struggle right now is trying to market ourselves, make ourselves stand out from others. What do you guys find is the biggest challenge when it comes to marketing? Brian, I'll start with you.
Well, there's so much competition, right? We don't know. Customer has a struggle. They don't know, and this isn't being mean. Is it just a warehouse? Is it a 3PL? Is it a moving company? Is it a logistics company? So I think just getting that out there, and really what we want to do, and we have a tough time getting someone to understand. Jeremy kind of admitted or said it earlier, like, we can customize our software. We do know that's important to people, and the reason we do is because we don't buy software. We actually we build software, right? And WMS and programs and OMS, but we do struggle to get that message out there, and we can't get anyone to believe that we will customize a project for you. That's really hard for people to not think that, well, everyone's got to be the same, right? Customer A and customer B, when in fact they're not. I wish we could get those customers, but they're not the same. It doesn't work like that. Whether we're working with Wear Match, we want to do what Wear Match wants to see, or whether we're working with another company. So, and it is hard to get that message out there. Until they become your customer, it's really difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And Jeremy, for yourself, what do you find the hardest part of marketing is in this industry?
It's a great question, because there's a lot of challenges nowadays. This environment's really changed. Even looking back to when I first started, it was easy. People came to you, they needed space. COVID made it very easy for a lot of warehouses, and I think now we're kind of seeing the back end of that, because companies got smart and they started building their own warehouses or leasing their own warehouses. And then, like Brian said too, it's finding that right warehouse for the customer. And that's another struggle. And I feel like it becomes overwhelming for some customers, and then they end up just either taking it on themselves or just settling with whatever is closest or cheapest to them. So it's, the environment's really it's changed. I think that was the biggest struggle, was trying to adapt to that change after COVID.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking on that, I know you guys are not the only ones that have been affected. Now I feel like everybody is feeling the back end of COVID, because things were very easy for a few years during that entire pandemic. What are some initiatives you guys are doing to try to market yourselves and put yourselves out there?
good, Jeremy, because Jeremy's been he sold himself short earlier because he is on the sale. He definitely works very hard on the sales side of things.
Mhm.
A wonderful job. So.
That's my dirty little secret. I try to not say I'm a salesperson, but I find myself selling and selling more every day. So, I think the biggest thing, is our software is really our advantage. Like Brian kind of alluded to earlier, I think those are my favorite calls that I have lately are software demos. We're not officially selling it, but people want to see what we're doing. And it helps us kind of have that leg up on a lot of the competition because as Brian said earlier, you literally could come to me and say, I need X, Y, and Z, and I can tell you with full confidence you'll have that tomorrow. And we can kind of pivot. And we've also built our software from the ground up, and we're the users of it. So we know what we want. We know what our customers want. Where a lot of off the shelf software doesn't have that, and it needs to be customized or anything else. And I think that's our biggest advantage that we have right now in the market. And it's really just getting that out there and working on it. I just got back from a conference with some agents, some allied agents, and just showing them what we're capable of and what they could be capable of was a huge eye opener, and it sparked a lot of great conversations and takeaways for us internally as well.
That's amazing. And touching a bit on your point, now that you explained a bit what you guys do, can you tell me a little bit exactly what does Beyond Distribution do and what do you guys specialize in?
Yeah, sure. We certainly do white glove delivery is a huge part of our business, whether it's final mile or interstate white glove delivery. So we have customers where we actually take the product directly from the distribution center to the end user. It could be 1,000 miles away, it could be 20 miles away. Then other customers where we actually warehouse the product, right? So that would be our warehouse portion of it. And either deliver what they've already sold, or we would just fulfill orders, so they may place stock in our warehouse. And, we feel we're real good about that. And again, that's the whole thing with the software. It keeps coming up, right? Those are three different ways of doing business, but we're happy to use the same our software and be able to do that. So a lot of fulfillment, a lot of white glove delivery. We obviously still do and love to do just plain old storage. Believe it or not, that's still out there. So we still just store product for people and hold it until they can either it's an overflow for their warehouse in a lot of the cases, or an order's not ready. We do a lot with the hospitality business as well. So hotels being built, whether we're working with the hotel owner or the contractor or a third party, we obviously third parties would hire us to warehouse and then deliver and hopefully install the product as well.
Amazing. I know you guys have a lot of different locations as well. Do you guys touch everything, whether that's like food grade or different types of certifications? Can you tell me a little bit about what it is that you guys can specialize in when it comes to storage?
Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, no, not a problem. Yeah, we don't do food. We do have a climate controlled facility down in Austin, Texas, so we're able to take on those kind of customers there. For the most part, it's a lot of bulk storage, just pallets, of general commodities. We started getting into, medical devices and storing those as well. That's been a lot of fun and a very interesting field to be in.
Very cool.
Just working with the doctors and everything else to fulfill their orders and get it brought out to them and set up before their patients come in. It's very high paced, time sensitive. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy that a lot, especially from like the data analytics side of things too, watching our inventory come in and being scanned and associated and everything else. It's a fun time. It's a good thing to see. The big part that we shy away from is just the food commodities, and alcohol and marijuana as well. We're not quite into that. Haven't quite convinced the owners that's the right way to go yet. So don't know if we ever will. But
you guys seem to be doing very well. So I would, stick to what works for you guys. And I see you guys have grown a lot as well. So medical device is really cool. It's great to always have a doctor on your good side, so that's always something that you can keep in your back pocket if ever. So I know you guys have a lot of locations, you're kind of everywhere. When it comes to connecting with customers, how do you do the initial discovery to the close? Like, what does that process look for you guys? I'll go to Brian.
Yeah, so we actually have, and we spend a lot of time on this, we actually have two different versions. So one that we would call probably a national account or a national opportunity, where that's what Jeremy's working on very hard with other salespeople or sales development team that corporately actually handle. We might cross train with our relocation company, right, or cross sell with that, or cross sell possibly with the moving company. There could be somebody we're moving that works for somebody who needs beyond distribution. So that would be what we would call a national sale. And then on the local side, each market, we would support them. Jeremy's not going to go sell to a local store in Houston, but we would certainly corporately, Jeremy, would support them all the way from the discovery phase to the closing, and maybe even come in and help them close on that deal, regardless of what it is. So it's kind of, we have it twofold here. We have a great sales development team corporately that would work for all of our brands, and we have a great marketing team as well that would work for all our brands. Then we just need to decide, is this a national opportunity or is this more localized? Is it, or even regionalized, right? The four, if it's in Texas and we have 4 Texas locations, let's help them work the sale.
Amazing. And who would your ideal customers be, Jeremy? If you had to, think of your ideal customer, what would that look like to you?
Oh, I don't know if I have one. Because I find joy in the national customers. It's great to see, all of our different branches working together to service the same customer, obviously in their own local markets. But, like Brian said, going out to those small little mom and pops. We did a great event here in St. Paul during Christmas last year called Sweaters and Sweets, and it was ugly sweaters. And then all the stores handed out candy. And we did a giveaway of 2 baskets. One, we did the naughty and nice. We did a cocktail and a mocktail basket. And just talking to those local, one store operations, it was so much fun, hearing, their struggles and how we can help them. Being a national organization, they had no idea how to get furniture out to California from Minnesota. And it's well, we can take care of that for you. It's not a problem. Let's put it on a truck and we'll have it white glove delivered in 2 days. And kind of just sharing, our experience with them. It makes it a lot of fun. So I don't know if I really have an ideal customer. I kind of find joy in all of our customers. They all have something to bring to the table. And I think it's you kind of give what you get, and it's huge.
I love that. I love that you guys give back to the community. I think that's so important. And I think sometimes people focus too much on the high level companies, and we forget that mom and pop companies are what runs the world, runs, where we live. So I think it's amazing you guys give back and you still focus on those smaller businesses as well. Brian, from the start of your career till now, how have you found that technology and AI has, affected the industry?
I am a big technology lover, I guess. I don't know it, but I certainly appreciate it and want to be the person who keeps up with it. So people can bring it to me and find something negative, but I rarely find anything negative with it. I know I probably should, but it is sometimes I think back as simple as we did a presentation with the customer not long ago and showed them what we used to do. And this is 25 years ago. This isn't 100 years ago or anything. And it was literally like a Google route from Cleveland through Florida and they're like, oh, what were you using? And I'm like, well, I was using probably AOL. I don't know. I was using the internet, and just putting little dots on a map and stuff like that. So I appreciate, look, we're in this business because we want to employ people, right? That's our entire business. Everybody's employed and we want to make the company profitable. And I don't think AI is taking jobs, but I certainly know how efficient I've become personally, and certainly our company's become. We just talked a lot about the software and all that. And certainly that's all the technology stuff that we didn't do before. Where real-time data for our customers is amazing, and it's amazing for us. And then just Jeremy had mentioned analytics. We certainly can overanalyze now because of technology and because it's so quick, and I'm not going to spend a whole day trying to find something. It takes 2 minutes now. But I think it's positive. I think number 1 is analytics. Number 2 would be the efficiency that it's created. And that's not to get rid of people. That is to do a better job and get more customers, I guess.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Jeremy, for yourself, from the start of your career till now, how have you found technology has affected or changed your industry?
A lot. When I first started, we had map books, and you would, if you were a helper on that truck, you would have to go turn by turn and direct that person where they need to go. Now it's completely different. I mean, everything is on the tablets. The guys they push the next stop. They go right to that delivery. There's really no thinking involved. They can focus on the road now and, getting prepared for their next stop, which is huge for them. It's changed so much. And I'm at that age where I knew life before the internet, and I knew life after the internet at a young age. So I got to kind of see that change too and kind of develop with it. And as Brian said, I lean on technology quite a bit. People joke around that we're a technology company that found a way to deliver furniture. I don't necessarily completely agree with it, but I think to, be competitive in this market now, you have to be accepting of what's out there and move forward with it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. For you guys, is there any special warehouse initiatives that you guys are currently working on? I know we had touched base a little bit, but I'd love to hear, any kind of special projects you guys have going on right now.
Yeah, I can actually take this. So I'm part of the warehouse development team here for Beyond Distribution. We started out as just a small little group trying to figure out how can we build these warehouses, because we have the household side of our business, the burger side, where they provide us with a great asset of having flexible storage. Most of their business is done 4 to 5 months out of the year when people are moving over the summer, and then during the winter months they're pretty slow on the household. Our warehouses start to get empty, and that's what gives us an advantage over some places, that we have an ability to take on 5,000 square feet of storage temporarily for you, because we know that, it's going to be gone soon before our peak season hits again, and our warehouses will fill up. So it kind of gives us a little bit of a roller coaster effect that we've found a way to work to our advantage. And now the big thing is just we're trying to find the right customers. We're not about taking on every single customer that comes knocking on our door. I probably give out more no's than I do yeses when we get email inquiries. Right. It's not the right fit. We want to make sure that we're going to grow with them, that we're going to provide them the service that they deserve and that they truly need to help them build that longevity. I mean, some of our customers, I can think of 2 right now that we've been with for over 35 years.
Wow.
And we've grown from, Brian talked about loading off their dock. That was one of our first white glove delivery customers. Is they said we need help with a route, and we certainly showed them how efficient we can be and how we can make this work. And we've been with them for, it's just over 35 years now. So wow. We're their only delivery provider nationally. That's a lot to be said about, how we look at our customers and our relationships with our customers. It's all about culture.
That's honestly so beautiful. And I think that speaks a lot to the value and just the service you guys provide. I think that's a beautiful end to these questions. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. It's been such a pleasure. And to everyone watching, I really encourage you to go check out their profile on WearMatch, as well as their website that I will put into the bio down below. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. So thank you guys so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.